There we go. Got a double clap. Conversations with Kojo. Had a little bit of fun before we got this video rolling. I don't know what episode this is. We'll call it 9.3.
Let's do 9.3.
Yeah.
Part B.
Part B.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's Sunday, February 11th. I think
it is
11th or 12th. So guys, you're gonna see this video with about 24 hours of notice, but Valentine's Day is coming up.
Hey.
So make sure to.
When is it?
Tuesday.
Well, you're not getting anything. You're getting nothing.
Grab something, or blame it on the supply chain issues. That's what I plan on doing.
That's what it is. Yep.
When in doubt, just do something in person. It makes it seem like it was planned the whole time.
Yeah.
Even though it was a scramble at the last second.
I wanted to bring you to the store to pick your flowers out, so I really got the ones that you like. Didn't forget it all.
Also this week, the Open starts.
Yay!
Which we're going to touch on towards the end. Make our predictions. Make one last plea for you to sign up for the Open.
Yeah. It is crunch time now. I think you could officially say that I don't think they're going to give any more sweet deals for signing up for the Open.
Yeah, there's not going to be any sweet deals. You're not going to all of a sudden get a skill that you haven't been trying to get since the last 6 weeks. We've been telling you to try to get one.
Yep.
Although I have seen a couple people in here, Jamie Winholz, trying to work on her ring muscle up.
Yeah.
Since they put rings in there, so I'll give her credit.
Had a couple people get their first bar muscle up.
Yeah, we had 2 people get their first bar muscle up yesterday. Some people have been putting in the work.
Yeah,
but if you haven't been at this point,
it's never too late. But I
mean, you can still keep working on skills, but maybe it happens in week 3 of the Open, right? There's something you're working on, so you've got another 3 weeks. But yeah. So, Corey, what did you want to talk about today?
I wanted to talk about the difference, or I guess in the conversation that I'm thinking of, the not so difference between your competitive athletes and your recreational athletes. Okay. And I think when I originally threw out the idea, we talked a little bit on it, and you even said they have something and I don't remember how they word it, in the L1 or the L2, but the difference isn't anything. It's what would you say? You have a good word for it.
Are you talking about the needs of our Olympic athletes and our grandparents?
No, it's like they have a specific, you know how CrossFit has their vernacular. They have like a specific way of saying, like, if you're a 70-year-old grandma just trying to keep up with your grandkids, you need to do the exact same stuff that your high-level competitive athletes do. The only difference is the
degree.
Yeah, the degree of what you're doing.
That's the quote I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, that's it.
So the needs of our grandparents and our Olympic athletes differ by degree, not kind.
Yeah. So that was, and like lately I've been saying, our competitive athletes, which I kind of explained in my classes, like, to be a competitive athlete, you don't have to have competed. You just have to see competition in the future.
Yeah.
So if you were like, man, I've never done a comp, but maybe 2024 I want to do one, I think you would fall in the competitive athlete category, because that you need to work on competing.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to make sure everyone knew that whether you're doing this to be competitive or just doing this to stay healthy, we all need to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It just, how high you want to go with it.
I'd agree with that. And and I'll even step back further from the competitive athlete, is you may never compete, period, but you're competing with yourself to see how good you can become. And this is the singular thing that you want to, like, and I wouldn't even say singular thing, but this is one of the things where you want to measure how good you can become. And so that in itself is a competitive mindset. Even if you never go out and step floor on a competition, and versus a recreational athlete, where I don't want to say that you're kind of using this to offset some bad habits, but You're just
I
using
feel
it to stay a little bit healthier, and we
Yeah.
don't want you to be using exercise to offset bad habits or to earn bad habits. I think that's a
It's a dangerous
slippery slope
game.
mindset
Yeah.
to get into. You know, you need to have a moderate, healthy approach through all what you're doing, and so you can't just say, "Well, I'm going to crush myself in the gym so I can have this cheeseburger and 6 beers."
Yeah, that's not.
And I'm not telling you not to have a cheeseburger and 6 beers.
No.
But you can't have your relationship with exercise be that way,
Yeah.
or exercise is never going to be fun.
And that that's a great way point to make is if you want to have your burger and fries or your burger and beer or whatever it is, that's perfectly okay, as long as you're not destroying yourself in the gym and then feeling guilty about it.
Yeah. Guilt to me is worse than the action.
Yeah. If you're gonna eat your burger and have your beer, that's fine, but don't stress on it. Don't think you have to come in here and put in.
Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl is already going to be over by the time you guys see this. I hope you enjoyed your wings.
Yeah, and there's no guilt, because we know that one day or even a couple days, that's not really going to be the main.
Just one salad doesn't make you thin.
Yeah,
one burger is not going to make you fat. But if you have guilt for the whole week over that,
that can lead to
that can mess up some things that we don't want to mess up.
And I tell anyone that we do I have nutrition consults with. I always tell them we do this. I do this to de-stress. We do this to be healthy and happy and stress free, or at least a little bit less stressed out. If you're always feeling guilty about the smallest things, it kind of doesn't make you any happier or honestly healthier, or it makes you more stressed out. So I always tell people, live your life. Just try to make good decisions for the most part. It's all moderation.
So I kind of took us off on the different direction than what you wanted to talk about. But so you're talking about, any person in here, right? Let's relate it to a ring muscle up.
Okay.
So if you're a recreational athlete, why should you want a ring muscle up versus a competitive athlete, whereas they're going to come up in the open, or they're going to come up in a competition someplace,
or whatever it is.
And so for me, I would say, first of all, you never know when you're going to decide you want to be a competitive athlete. The number of times I have heard somebody tell me, I have no desire to compete. I'm just doing this to get healthy. And then all of a sudden they're chasing the ring muscle up, or they're chasing whatever within months or years, and I've seen it take a long time.
Yeah.
But like Justin Bieber says, never say never. So
you just quote Justin Bieber.
Yes. It's one of my favorite quotes to make. He is a very wise philosopher.
I would say, I think we're going to look back in probably 20 years and say,
we're all going to be wiped out by then.
Wise Justin. Oh, yeah. If we make it that
long. The U.S. has shot down 2 UFOs in the last 2 days. We just started a war. Yeah. In Canada and in Alaska.
Oh, man.
Justin Trudeau, the Canada Prime Minister, ordered the U.S. to shoot it down yesterday. I saw it flash across the news.
I got to Google this. I got to find
this. I've seen some videos, and editing has gotten so good that I can't really
you don't really know.
But, yeah, I don't know. So...
Tangent.
Tangent again, tangent alert. But the ring muscle up, right? Going back to it, it's the pursuit of a skill. I think something can get boring. And while you may never really care about getting a ring muscle up, when we have ring muscle up days, we can work on false grip. That's going to change your grip for your pull-ups. It's going to change your grip for your weightlifting, right? You're going to start to get an over grip. You're going to start to understand and connect the musculature through your arms into your lats, and you're going to see how those things connect. You're going to see, that energy transfer of that hip, applying to a GHD, applying to a box jump,
toes bar in your ski, it all has.
And so, it's just one of the. I'm sure this is the same thing in every sport, but it's so beautifully laid out how all of these exercises transfer over to other ones. There's really nothing in the gym that we're doing that doesn't have carryover to the next movement. And that is why we call this functional fitness. Not to shoot on bodybuilders, but go into a bodybuilder gym and look at some of the things they're doing. Have you ever seen anybody do that functionally in sport? No, you haven't. Aesthetically, it's super pleasing and it helps develop those minor muscles, and that's what they're doing. It carries over to their sport. No shots fired. But in life, a pec fly just isn't really going to help you.
No, it's not that. Or like the behind
and definitely
the back,
not a pec fly on a fixed plane.
The behind the back, like it just, you look at a muscle up and you think, well, there's not that in sport, but there's violent hip extension.
Well, there's violent hips, but
there's pulling.
Get on top of something.
There's pressing. Like it.
Get out of the pool without stairs. What is that? It's a muscle up.
I want to see handstand press up out of a pool.
Yeah, right.
This year, Joe. This is your year to do it.
But there's carryover, and I, even when I was thinking about that, I wasn't even really thinking about real life. I'm just talking about from one exercise to the next exercise to the next exercise in the gym. And I would say that it culminates or ends in this, but doesn't end because we can change it. We can add it.
Yep.
As soon as you get a forward muscle up, we can teach you a back kip muscle up. Well, I can't, but I've seen people do them.
I could watch one.
Yeah.
I could tell you, hey, that's one.
So because there's no end, that's why I would say whether you're a recreational or competitive athlete, like your approach should be the same. Constant pursuit of knowledge, and you look at somebody like, we talk about people that retire and then they lose a sense of purpose. Their brain starts to deteriorate. Like we see this over and over and over again. And to me, that's the same thing in the gym. Like if you're not trying to pursue something, it can get real boring and take you off. What you got over there?
So when we originally started the discussion, like one of the things I did a little bit of reading on was just like deteriorating muscle mass as you age, and it's part of as a competitive athlete, you and I both, we're always in here like lifting. Mm-hmm. We want to get stronger. You want your first chase and you want body weight snatch, or your double body weight deadlift, or whatever lift it is. We're in here training it, and once you hit a double body weight deadlift, your next goal's 2.5 times. Like for us as competitive athletes, there's no ceiling.
Yeah.
Whereas someone might come in who's in their 50s or 60s, and they're like, dude, I don't really ever want to deadlift twice my body weight. But one thing that's important is continuing strength training. I pulled up an article, and I've read like 3 of them, but one of them was on it's Harvard Health Publishing. And as the years pass, blah, 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 basically it's saying that after 30, you have a 1 to 2% decline or deterioration in muscle mass per decade until you hit 60. And then that jumps up to 3 to 5%. And the numbers were all a little bit different in each article I read, but the studies are pretty conclusive in saying, like, as you get older, if you do not strength train, you lose your strength.
Yep.
If you don't use it, you lose it. And
you lose your ability to actually get it back, too.
Right. And they say, like, your fast twitch fibers, you lose very quickly if you don't lose them or use them.
Good thing for me, I'm 73% slow twitch.
So there will be zero decline in your strength training.
Which is somewhat comforting.
That's nice to know that in 30 years.
Yeah, my peak was low, but my valley is high.
There you go. I say just nice and steady. But and again, like if you come in here and you're in your 60s and you're like, man, I don't ever want a body weight or double body weight deadlift, for example. That's fine. Yeah. But deadlifting is extremely important. That way you can continue.
You're gonna do that all your life.
Yeah. And you do that all
the moment you can't deadlift is the moment you're in a nursing home.
Right. And that's what it is. Like it's that health, wellness, fitness continuum of and your quality of life.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen, like we saw, was it Legends? there were some ladies and gentlemen in their, I think, 70s competing. They were doing some different stuff, but they were still able to compete and like have fun out there.
It's changed what I thought 70 was.
It really has.
You know, I've got, you know, people in my life that are 70 or approaching there, and they're not the 70 I see on TV.
No.
And I want to be the 70 I see on TV.
Well, and it seems like, I don't know, maybe genetically, maybe they're set up a little bit better, but this seems to be the main difference is CrossFit, or not even CrossFit, but just fitness, just staying moving, staying lifting, strength training. That's kind of where my head went when we talked about our rec athlete versus our competitive athlete. And like all this is important.
So on that note, you mentioned like the drive to take a deadlift from double body weight to 2.5 times body weight. And there's been a lot of, you know, I wouldn't say anti-CrossFit, but just kind of posts about like, how does a PR in the gym affect your life outside of the gym? Is going from a 2 times body weight deadlift to a 2.5 times body weight deadlift going to affect your life outside of the gym? From a pure number standpoint, none at all. From a setting a goal, working hard for it, achieving it, absolutely. And I'm not telling you that needs to be your goal, but the idea that a PR doesn't actually improve your life, I disagree with, because well, it's again, it's the dedication to a task. Right. And it's a reinforcement that my hard work or your hard work pays off. Yeah.
Well, it's hard. Oh my gosh!
And like to go from 2 to 2.5,
that doesn't sound
you've
like
got to clean up other things. You've got to be sleeping well. You've got to be eating well. You've got to have everything. And if having that goal allows you to sleep better and to prioritize that sleep, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, your work life is going to improve. Your family life's going to improve because you're eliminating negatives in pursuit of that goal that's in the gym. So yeah, the number didn't make you a better person. The pursuit of the number made you a better person.
And that's neat to see, is when someone comes in here
using fitness to improve your life.
That's pretty awesome.
Completely outside of it, using fitness to get off drugs. How many like places have been set up with CrossFit?
Oh yeah,
from former users or former inmates, or to use this. Well, because again, listen, it's an addiction. Fitness is an addiction.
Oh, 100%.
It's just a good addiction.
Yep.
Right? Like you see, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, they all get addicted to coffee.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a better substitute.
Well, it's a better, yeah. And that was like, I was having a conversation with someone the other day of like, for me, like, do I maybe go a little bit far in the extremes with fitness? 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But it was one, and when I said, well, why do you think you do that? And I said, because if I don't do that, my other choice is less productive.
Yeah. Like,
I would rather come in here and overtrain a little bit too much than to do something else, whether that be usually my go-to is like food.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not in here, I'm usually snacking pretty hard. So it's like, this is a better choice. And I've had the discussion with other athletes who I'm like, hey man, you probably need to rest. And they're like, yep, but if I rest, I'm going to be ornery.
Yep.
So I'd rather just come in here. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And you know, we're not telling you that needs to be your choice. That's our choice.
Yeah.
But I've seen this post a couple of times from people. And again, if you don't want to pursue that 2.5, don't arbitrarily pursue it, or whatever it is, right? If you're happy with where you're at, just work on maintaining it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what, you're getting older and it's harder to maintain. So
Everyone
just maintaining where you're at is a noble goal if you're already super happy with where your fitness is. There are other ways to make fitness still interesting, and I would simply say it goes back to the ring muscle up or learning new skills. And maybe you've already got a ring muscle up, but do you have a front lever?
Nope.
Right? Do you have an iron cross? There's always little things that you can use and tweak to keep yourself
Engaged.
interested, engaged in the gym.
And if you don't know, ask one of us. We have plenty of ridiculous things that we could give you to practice.
I just think using fitness to hammer good habits is.
There's no better.
I haven't found a better application for it. So I believe being in the gym is a lifelong pursuit, and the longer you can stay in the gym, the overall more productive your life is going to be. And again, that doesn't mean you need to be setting PRs.
No, you just need to be in.
But there needs to be a goal. Okay.
Ooh, this guy.
You gotta have a goal because that's what makes everything else. You tie everything into it.
Yep. I think you showed me a post. It was like motivation is fleeting.
Yeah.
Like having a goal, that helps. That's what helps get you out of bed.
That's what gives you the discipline.
Yeah. And that's the big thing is staying disciplined and staying consistent.
And so on that note, kind of leads into the open.
Yay! I love the open, even though
by week 2 I'm over the open.
Yeah, I get real stressed out about it. But
I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to introduce our new people to the open.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I hope our new format works, and I think obviously this year we're not doing the open in class on Friday night or on Friday. We're only doing it during Friday Night Lights,
which I like. And tell me if you agree.
Okay.
If you have never been to Friday Night Lights, but you've done the open in class, you don't know what the open is.
I agree.
Okay. So we can both agree that if you have not been to like a Friday Night Lights or whatever it is that the gym is hosting, even if you've done the open, even if you've signed up and you've come to class and you've done class at 8:30 in the morning, you do not actually know what the open is like. You don't get the experience.
No.
And I had someone ask me like, "Hey, are you going to do Friday Night Lights?" And I was like, "Man, that is my bedtime. 5 o'clock is my bedtime." But I know that Friday Night Lights for us, just the energy there, even at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
which is again a bedtime. It's just too much to not want to participate in.
Yeah, and I had told people I wasn't going to participate, and just the closer it gets, the more I want to. And the reason I didn't say I wasn't going to participate is simple. I got a lot on my plate in terms of hosting and getting everything ready. We get a million questions. Happy to answer them.
Strategy.
I'm okay to answer them.
I'm okay to answer them if they haven't already been answered 63,500 times.
But again, your performance isn't going to be better than this on Friday Night Lights.
No,
it just isn't. The energy, the people,
and like
it's just
there could be some people at home shaking their fist. Well, I'll retest and get better.
Likely
that might check out, but your performance and energy will not be better.
Yeah, theoretically,
you might be more efficient if you retest.
And I would not. Because there's so many people that test it when it comes out on Thursday and give everybody the strategy. You see almost all of them say the same strategy. By Friday, you know what you need to do.
And I'm going to tell you.
And this isn't 8 years ago.
Right.
Where
you just did it.
And then did it.
Well, and I think you and I even told you, I think in my entire career of doing the open, I think I've retested. Now, this is not including the times when like the open workout was a retest.
Yeah, and I agree.
I've retested one workout and I got worse.
I've never retested.
One. I didn't want to. Got talked into it, but I've retested one workout and I got worse than I did during Friday Night Lights because the energy wasn't there. I was doing it alone.
And you got a 24-hour or 48-hour turnaround at best. You're gonna still have some soreness.
Yeah. So if you
win it all. Now listen, if on Friday nights you just want to do a walkthrough to be part of it, I wouldn't
do the walkthrough Thursday.
Yeah,
and then do
a walkthrough on Sunday and just try to hope you get a small crew of people.
And that it's still not the same.
And it's not the same, but that's the best you're gonna get.
That's your best chance.
Unless you are just super, super internally motivated and driven.
I still don't think so.
I still don't, but I'll at least give you a fighting shot.
Well,
your best performance is going to be on Friday night.
We did. I had some strength training to do last Monday, and I had snatches, and I couldn't hit my numbers. Like I hit a few, they weren't good. Felt like trash.
Yeah.
So we were in here yesterday. I hit higher. It felt better, looked better because we had the energy of our like Saturday crew in here. Like it. And there's no like I don't care who you are or how motivated you are. It's not the same. Yep. And you need to be in here.
I've heard
it's fun.
Every podcast is going to talk about retesting. I have yet to hear a podcast where people retested better. Consistently. At best, we're talking 50%.
Like I said, if you
and the retest is like 1 or 2 reps better or an immense amount of pain. Well, unless you're on the qualifying bubble,
I wouldn't.
There's just not a reason to retest.
So the only thing I would be like, okay, this makes sense is if we'll say Friday at work, you go in, you forgot you had a status report due, you got scrambled, one of your clients was being a jerk, you didn't sleep well Thursday night. Like if you had a terrible day Friday and you were just set up to fail,
don't even do it though.
And like if you want to do it Friday Night Lights, all right, come in and do it. But if it's that bad of a day, like
I'd say come in and like beg people that are there on Friday Night Lights to come join you on Saturday and yell at you.
And that would be the most productive way to do it. And I would love to come in on Saturday just to yell at someone. So if you want that, let me know.
And the other thing I'd say there is like if you go into it on Friday night with the idea that you're going to retest,
you're not going to go as hard.
You're wasting your time.
Yeah, don't do it.
You're wasting your time.
You need to go into it.
You need one and done. You better have that mindset. One and done. I'm gonna make this hurt.
Yep.
And you want to make it hurt and this is competitive athletes.
Yep.
You want to make it hurt so bad that you can't stomach the idea of doing that test again.
If
you hold back, what are you even doing? What are you even doing?
What was the deadlift one last year?
1 to 10, 10 to 1.
What was it? 20?
1 to
22.2.
Yeah.
So
one was wall walks and stuff.
I did that one. Like if you don't know me, deadlifts and burpees. Like I hearts me some deadlifts and burpees. I did that workout. I don't remember where I got.
I did it against you, and I fortunately ran my own race, but I was just like, God, this guy's. And I like deadlifts.
I do too.
I like burpees.
I also do that workout. And I didn't.
I was really, really, really sick.
I was not, but I was afterwards. Like that, I don't know what that. It's evil. It was evil.
Yeah.
And I got to like I think 4 or 3. Like I was close to finishing it, and I laid down for a long time, and then someone came over, and they're like, "Hey, I think you could redo that and finish it." And I said, never. I will never do that workout again unless I am absolutely forced to.
Yeah.
Because I did. I went out and I pushed as hard as I could. And like, I think at one point, like my ankles started to burn. I was like, how are my ankles burning? These are deadlift. Like, what is this? And if you've seen them, like they shouldn't be tired. They're thick. So yeah, like going into it with the idea of retesting is wasting time. Like you just got to go into it with the mindset of like, I'm going to go as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah. So getting towards the end of our video, we know the Open is going to be 3 weeks. We kind of went over what to expect. So you're going to come out here. The gym's going to be closed at 1 on Friday for setup and honestly just for a little bit of relaxation for me and Corey.
No open gym, no.
Yeah, go home and take care of some things. Get back here.
No.
Set it up.
Nothing.
Mostly planning to potentially have a kids Friday Night Lights starting about 4:45. So the kids can kind of do it, have some fun while there's not everybody here. And then, even if they're younger than the actual division, we'll modify and we'll get a workout for them. It's just for fun so they can participate. No obligation. Actually, no cost for the kids. That's just fun for us, honestly.
Yeah. We get some strategy out of them.
Yeah, we get some strategy.
They don't get tired.
Yeah. Then we'll start at 5:30. Again, need to be signed up for the open, or there'll be like a little donation jar. Recommend $10. It is extra. It's a workout that we're not doing in class. It's at a time that we're not normally open because we close on Friday nights. We're taking time out of judging, and I know it's silly, but the tape's not free.
Tape's not free.
Like all the things that we've got to do to get on there.
Paper, all of it.
And I was going to go into this, but I'm not going to go into this as deep. And it's like at the end of the day, it's $20, and you're supporting a brand that has changed your life.
Not bad.
And it supports the entire CrossFit Games season. Do you watch quarterfinals? Do you watch semifinals? Do you watch the games? Do you watch the documentaries that are produced? Right? Like you'll go out and do all those things, but you won't pay $20 to be an active participant in the sport that changed your life. I pay $3,000 a year because CrossFit gave me a way of life.
Right.
And I could easily drop CrossFit, do the exact same thing, and save $3,000 a year.
Yeah.
But at this point, they've proven that they're not really going to pursue.
They're not going to sue you.
People or give you cease and desist, which unfortunately I disagree with because people are infringing on what I'm paying for. But even if they like sent out a letter to me like, hey, we're not going to sue you, period, I'd still probably keep paying them because boutique fitness doesn't exist without CrossFit.
And it's $20.
Yeah.
Like you
and I'm saying this about 3,000 and you won't say it about 20? Like just pay and sign up for the open.
Just I don't know, like eat like a pickle with whipped cream on it.
Yeah, like you're going to go to Starbucks. I guarantee 90% of you listening to this are going to go to Starbucks and pay $10 for a coffee.
Yeah, just
let me tell you, you can make coffee for 50 cents.
We actually come in, sign up for the open. Jill and I will make you coffee. It's not going to be good.
It's not going to be great.
Really bad.
I haven't made coffee since McDonald's days. I think
I remember. I used to have a French press, so I used to.
Oh, I couldn't make coffee if you paid me.
I used to know.
I mean, I could make it. I'm just saying it probably wouldn't be good.
No, but you get to sign up for the open and you get your coffee. Prediction?
Prediction.
Yeah. So I don't have like a specific 23.1 prediction, but I do have a prediction for the general idea of the open.
All right, what is it?
Okay. So I think there will be, and this is as far as like, because there's always something like, ooh, yeah. I think there's going to be a new gymnastics movement, but I don't think it's going to be like a super high skill gymnastics movement, only because Bosman apparently just loves him some gymnasty. Mm-hmm. But I was reading through on how they want to make the open a little bit more, I guess, inclusive for everyone, at least during the first week. So first week, I think it's just going to be a grind.
Yeah.
With some kind of new gymnastics movement in there. Or like a gymnastics movement with a twist. Maybe they'll do those pull-ups you've been doing.
Side to sides.
Oh, man. What do you think?
I want to go with something crazy.
You think they're just going to abandon the old ways?
Yeah. I don't really, but I want to like go out there and be like, this is going to be the first year we don't have a repeat.
But that'd be okay.
My problem with that is it violates the CrossFit tenet, right?
Of
observable, repeatable, right?
Yeah.
Measurable. Like, so I think to do that,
they got to have a retest.
Like, yeah, you have to have a retest.
Do you think they're going to have a retest or a retest with a twist?
I don't know. And so my problem with a retest with a twist is it's not a retest.
Right.
So like you're just wasting. You're basically saying I'm not creative.
So I'm going to retest this, but I'm also going to throw a little.
Yeah, that's one of the things where I don't like when they change like girl workouts.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Is I'm like, you basically just said I'm not creative.
Right.
Just make a new workout. Not every
make it similar. If you liked it.
Blank 2.0, and it's like just come on. There's plenty of names, man.
I think they should.
So I want to say they're not going to retest, but I think they should retest. It's one of the pillars of CrossFit. If they don't have a retest, I'm going to be a little upset.
Okay, so and then with the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds, we're going to say there is a retest. What would be your, like, if you could pick, if Bosman, whatever his name is, called you and was like, hey, man, we're going to do a retest. What do you want?
I want the wall balls, ring muscle up, row.
Where you could break it up however you want. Well, I like that one.
I know. Well, if my shoulder cooperates, I know I'll do better. I'd be excited about that one. I think it's going to be 18.2, the one we did Friday. The dumbbell front squats, burpees.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty gnarly.
Because, and I'll say, and I saw several people do it wrong in class, either in open gym or just didn't listen to me. But you couldn't do a squat clean out of your first rep.
Right. I told a couple of my morning, someone asked, and I was like, in the notes, it says you cannot. And now, if you want to, that's fine, but you better be going fast. That's what I told him. I said, you better hammer it.
And then I saw 1 foot takeoffs on burpees.
Which, for that standard,
for that year, there wasn't.
2018, it had to be 2. Yeah. So you think they're going to throw new standards in?
It'd be interesting to see what happened.
Yeah. And that's what, like, I had someone else ask about that because they remembered it was a 2 foot takeoff, and I said, I don't think they're.
I would even say on the front squats, right? You could hold by the heads.
Yeah.
New standards, you have to keep your hand on the handle.
Yeah, we went over standards, and I said, I don't see the burpee one going back.
Yeah.
Because it was just too hard to judge. It was a little bit subjective. So, like, I think that's here to stay. I hope it is because I like it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Do you think it's that one? Think it's going to be that one?
I don't know. I think so.
You don't want repeat 17.1?
No. Well, that was repeated last year, wasn't it? Or 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago.
No, I don't ever need to see that again.
That one was pretty nasty. Snatches and burpee box jump, dumbbell snatches.
Last question. We're going to run out of time.
All right.
But this was a question on the local morning show. And it was, if you could go back and observe any historical event.
And participate,
but not change it. Which historical event would you go back and observe?
I still don't have a good one because my brain just goes to what you guessed.
Yeah.
Like I want to know. Okay, so mine was Atlantis, which we don't know if it actually exists, but we know there's got to be something that people, they were like, hey, there is this city.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So I want to go back and observe what that place was.
Yeah.
Call it Atlantis, call it whatever. I want to see what that was for and we get to choose how long, right?
Yeah.
I just want to be there for maybe a week. Yeah. Like a little nice little vacation.
Yeah. So Josie Dubert ruined mine. And I know that everybody hearing this question has the same answer, but it's clearly Woodstock.
Woodstock. Everyone thinks
the original Woodstock. Like, if you don't want to go back to Woodstock, like, I don't want to be your friend. Delete me from your DMs. Like, I don't want to be your friend. If you don't want to go back to the OG Woodstock, you suck as a human being.
What was the hip hop one? It was like the huge hip hop music festival.
I don't know.
I don't think it was Woodstock. That would be cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, same idea, but
a couple other answers that we've heard that I like. I'd love to be on the grassy knoll to see if anybody else was up there. Like,
okay, JFK.
And generally, I don't want to go to bad historical events.
We can't change it
because you can't change it. So you just got to watch this horrible thing happen.
Right.
Like the live and in person.
You can't change it.
And
but yours is more curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity. But then the problem with that is then you're the crazy dude and back in your time that's like, I saw it, and everybody's like, no, you didn't. And it's like, you can't come back with the information. Like, you come back with the information, but you don't have any.
You don't have any proof. You don't have any video evidence.
So you just have the memory of it.
Like I said yesterday, like, even if you don't try to talk to people about it, like, you're still there. Like, that guy thinks he went into the past. Like, he's a loot. So either way, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're still crazy.
You might as well at least know what's going on.
Yeah, I'd like to be in Roswell whenever that happened.
Would be neat.
Honestly, with the UFOs that got shot down the last 2 days.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look that up because that sounds like something I could get into.
Yeah.
What about like Area 51? Like,
well, that's the Roswell.
Yeah. Well, that Area 51 is like where all the. Yeah. Even though like I read some conspiracy theories that say like Area 51 doesn't have anything. No. That's just like the misinformation. That's where they want people.
That's where they want everybody.
I can't remember. There's some like underground base they have somewhere that.
If you've ever gone up towards like Montana and stuff. Like you'll be driving nowhere, and then there's like all of a sudden like
barbed wire,
fences, and it's like do not enter, and it's like okay, bud.
Okay, there's nothing in there that we need to not see.
Let me go ahead and tell you, I wasn't going to enter anyway, but now I
kind of want to. Yeah, I'm sticking with whatever Atlanta. I was also thinking like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon would be neat because I think they said that was a real place.
Yeah,
just to like observe like what it was about. It had the irrigation canals and things. I don't know. Historical things. All right.
See you guys. Let us know your answers in the comments.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.